episode of Talk Smack with Mac. This is going to be a little different today. Man, we just kick back, chilling, and vibing, man. I'm with my brothers, Wally and Chris, two of my really good friends, man. We got a little group chat, and I feel like in the few months that I've been in this group chat, I've learned more than I have in years combined. You know what I'm saying? These are two very, very, very smart guys, and I'm excited to get them on together, man. What's up, Wally? What's up, Chris? How y'all doing?
What up? What up?
Good. Chilling.
Yeah, man. Well, like I said, I got my snacks. I got some cranberries, some almonds, and I was feeling a bit cheaty. I got some pretzels with some peanut butter in them. It sounded so good. Oh man, I wanted to mention to you guys. I know I brought it up in the group chat. Oh, I got my baby here as a special guest star too. She's gonna pop in every now and again. It's early in the morning, man. We're just vibing out. She's chilling. What's up, babe? You just smiling, saying hi. She's silly. All right, let daddy talk, okay? But no, man, I got the sponsorship or the partnership with Vixen and Beard. I'm pretty excited, man. They're sending me like a whole box kit with your different combs, your different oils, your different balms that you use to get the beard going.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you guys to check this shit out, man. I'm excited to see how the box is. I think it's like bamboo or something. I want to see how it feels, the touch of it.
You gotta grow it all the way out. Like you gotta.
I'm invested now, yeah, man. If since I'm partnering with some beard people, I gotta fucking play the part. So this thing's it's gonna come out a little bit.
I mean, how far you trying to go with it though? Like, we gonna see neck at all?
No neck.
just no neck. Just straight beard.
Man, well, I'm not gonna go full Sons of Anarchy and just fucking have that. But I'm gonna bring it out a little bit. It's gonna look full, maybe like that Connor beard.
I support it.
Yeah, that worked.
Yeah, man, Chris, I'm gonna have to get you some stuff, man, to get your beard looking fresh and smelling magical.
Nah, Chris will go from who he is now to Childish Gambino in a week. So you gotta be careful with that.
And I deny it. It might be next week. Matter of fact, it might be tomorrow.
Hey, I want to apologize in advance to the listeners and viewers. I have almonds, man, and if this is loud, my bad. Just put in the comments, don't fucking eat almonds again, you piece of shit, and I'll get the message, and I'll keep the almonds off the show. But they taste so good, man. It's a perfect snack. Almonds, fuck with me.
So how was it for getting that deal?
As far as what?
Like, how did you work that out as far as like what you're getting, what they're getting in exchange? Like, how did that go?
It's very vague. There's no contract. It's more like a handshake right now. And I like that, because I just started. Who the fuck am I to make demands? And then I don't even know where the starting table should be.
Yeah.
So I went out with the expectations of, hey man, if you work with me, just send me your stuff. Send me your product. Let me use it. Let me be, if I'm going to be the spokesperson for something or the speaker for something, I want to use your product to see if I like it. Because if you make a believer out of me, I can make a believer out of other people.
Yeah, showing the real. Yeah,
send me your stuff. Let me try it out. I'm going to give my honest opinion out, and we're going to grow together. But since I don't... Hold on one second. Hey, Lonnie, come over here. You're getting close to glass, and you're making me nervous.
Hey, did you saw that daddy response? He was like, smiling,
Hey, mid-conversation, you know exactly where they're at and what they're doing. But no, with them, I was like, hey, we didn't even really agree to how many episodes I'm going to sponsor for, but I feel so... What? Get your crazy hair out of here. Shout out to all the great dads out there, man. Being a parent is very important.
Yeah, the girl dads.
Girl dad, baby, all day.
Girl dad.
But
I'm not a
anyways,
fan of Lakers, but it's all good. Girl dad.
hater.
Booker.
But no, with them, it's like, let me show you what I could do.
Yeah.
Let me show you that I can grow. And once I could bring something to the table, then let's talk again. Maybe we could work something out more, or send me more of your product. I'm cool with just give me your product. Help me grow my beard, you know?
I mean,
That's what's up, because that's the perfect start. That's all it really is, in my opinion.
it's all about mutual help, man. Helping each other get to the next level. I'm all
Eat that. Once you're done with that, maybe I'll get you some more. But you gotta let Daddy talk, man. Daddy's trying to talk about his new sponsorship with his boys.
Hey, Kehlani, if I could kidnap you and bring you here, I would.
Man, we've been talking. I'm trying to make that trip happen.
Tyson fight.
Yeah, I gotta relook on Google how much those flights is going for, because I was looking for Libe's birthday weekend.
But yeah, man. Either way, it's a blessing. Either way you show up.
Mm-hmm. Over here, maybe I'll just drop this as an audio episode since she's being so crazy. Yeah, man. But no, I wanted to get you guys on here. Oh, and before I move on, I got an affiliation with So Right too.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, I hit them up. I told them my story. I made that review video. And ooh, girl, that one. Ooh, you got me. And they liked it. And they were like, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. And now I'm affiliated with So Right as well. So that's cool.
That's dope.
Yeah, I'm out here grinding, bro. It's been like 5 weeks since I started the podcast. So I'm working hard. I'm pushing it. It seemed like it was so long ago that, Wally and Jake got on the first episode and was chopping it up about UFC.
He's in the left hand. Left hand.
Oh, she got me without me seeing.
Yeah. Promise you.
Yeah. Yeah, man. But I wanted to get you guys on here. Chris and I, we were chatting it up about stocks. And I know you two are the stock masters, bro, that have been teaching me my little.
No, not even, but we know a little something.
Hey, I see you guys as my stock mentors. So I'm learning so much from y'all, man. Let's chop it up, because I feel like you guys can give the listeners and the viewers out there some fucking great words of wisdom. Oh, excuse my language. Cussing in front of my baby.
But
I wanted to put the emphasis on it. You about to go watch your show?
All
right.
It's more so just passing on the stuff that we got lucky and got passed on to us, or when it found. Yeah, we get blessed every day with information.
Yes, and the information that we share with each other is valuable. When you have 5 minds, we got 5 people in the group chat. When you got 5 minds working together, you're learning 5 times as much.
Yep, it never stops, man. That thing is always pinging. There's always some type of information, even information we don't even want to hear or see sometimes.
Mm-hmm. And even when we're not all responding to the group chats, we're looking, we're reading it.
Yeah.
But sometimes you be too busy. You glance over and kind of follow the conversation without replying, because we all know how valuable that stuff is, how much we're learning.
And what's cool about it is you can always go back too, because it has that little save point where all the links and all the different videos is sitting right there, so you can definitely revisit. I never delete the chat. If I delete the chat, I might break down and cry.
Ooh, she's showing that off. I know it's invaluable information in that group.
Ooh, you stayed in the lines. I appreciate you.
That trolls though.
Hey, I appreciate the compliment, but that wasn't my baby. that was someone else. She's just showing off some nice work. My baby, she gets outside them lines a little bit, but it's still so, so beautiful. Whoever did this, they know their colors and they were rocking out.
So that must be you.
No, I think it was one of my little cousins or something. Oh shit! I got the almond crunch right in the audio.
Nah, but yeah, that chat definitely helps us out. And it's crazy, like how much free stuff is out there, and people think you got to be professionals for this.
No, man, it's just a Google search away.
It really is. Either that or YouTube. Like, there's so much free content on YouTube.
Yeah, man. It's free. And then there's also the professionals that's out there they don't get no love, but they're there behind the desk waiting for somebody to call. If you really got a real question, you know what I'm saying? People forget that. They're scared to call because they don't want to sound stupid. You ain't gonna sound stupid, man. Those people are normal folks. They just want to help you make money because it helps them make
Girl, let daddy get up in the picture.
Ooh.
Ooh, you. Yeah, girl. All right, let daddy work, okay? Daddy's having a conversation with his friends.
She's stuck. She's mesmerized.
Yeah, she says, I see the white light in the back.
Yeah. Don't worry, I got
Why
one.
is it so bright?
I got one right here.
Yeah, man. But in that, back to the group chat and the knowledge, if you just have Yahoo Finance on notifications on your phone, you will pretty much know everything that's going on in the United States summed up in one little half paragraph.
Yeah, man. They definitely streamlining news and well, you know, I'm an iPhone person. I'm gonna just put that out there. But whether you have an iPhone or a Droid, there's plenty of apps out there that just sit there and populate news.
Go ahead, keep going, guys. I'll be right back.
Yeah, you good. You know how it populates the news? You can have CNN coming into that same app. You know the app I'm talking about, right, Wally?
Yeah. I mean, half of the stuff I learned from you.
He comes straight in. You just be passing back, man. Like, what I hate is like when you look at something like, especially like you just see it and you go on to the market and it hasn't even been like 5 minutes and it's like a drastic change off of something like petty.
Yeah,
Like,
what I think is crazy is like how everybody be like, yeah, I'm over here buying these new Jordans or something. I'm like, you know, Nike owns Jordans. I'm over here like I'm over here like I got the stocks. Like it'd be stuff like that. And I'm not saying Nike still owns Jordan because I think Jordan became its own brand again, recently. But it's stuff like that. Like everybody talking about like, oh, you got Moderna. I think they're gonna find a cure. And we're like, bruh, Pfizer already made that deal. So it's stuff like that we talk about, and it's just crazy how nobody acknowledges somebody has an owner in a way.
In a way, yeah. Somebody owns somebody. Like, and it's crazy when you do that. You drop that deep rabbit hole, and you go find out. Like for instance, we were talking about what was it? Who bought the mansion?
Yeah.
You go dive in and you go find out real quick. Like, oh, okay, the guy who used to own Pabst Blue Ribbon got it. He bought the mansion. Makes sense.
Can you be more specific for the listeners?
All right, so we're just curious. We'll be less explicit, but we're curious. Like, all right, so whatever happened to the Playboy Mansion estate? Like, you know,
By the way, my baby's gone, so we good.
We personally feel like they didn't, you know, do the estate justice. You know, you did way more with that property that was had, and we were just curious, like, who has it? So we went and Googled real quick who bought it, and then, you know, found out that it was just some billionaire just bought the estate. That billionaire just happens to be a former owner of Pabst, you know, Blue Ribbon, the same Pabst Blue Ribbon that we drink. You know, I love, like, you could talk crap about it all you want to, ride or die Pabst Blue Ribbon. I'll drink it for the rest of my life. But yeah, so it's just funny how like Wally was saying, it's funny, somebody owns something out there. When money's moving, money's always moving, and you're contributing to it, so you might as well be about it too.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna pay them no matter what, right? You're gonna buy their products no matter what, right? Might as well get something out of it by investing into the same thing that you invested in. Anyway,
exactly. Like we were saying earlier this morning, I don't even look at gas prices the same, because I was like, if gas prices going up, that's probably good news for me. If I were a person that had that oil stock, you know what I'm saying? Oh, gas prices going up, that means demand is going up. Demand goes up, oh, prices is going up. It's the cycle of life. And when you dive in there and you say, all right, well, fuck it, Chevron, you got to boost my motherfucking gas by 30 cents a gallon? Let me go buy 10 or 20 a year stock. Let me get my dividends back. Pay me my gas money back.
Watch it come right back.
Let me get some of that back. Exactly. You don't see it that way. And then if you really care about your gas prices going up, stop spending so much eating fast food and actually go spend on some groceries, and they'll cut your gas for you just buying groceries that you're gonna eat.
Save them trips.
Yeah, I save like 20 cents per gallon, like often, just because of my grocery trips. So if you do care about your gas prices that much, start eating more at home.
There's different ways that you can find solutions to things. You just got to be a little open-minded and maybe dive a little deeper.
Yep, flex. Got to be flexible too.
And that's back to the group chat, bro. That's the beauty of it, is that at least one of us is searching for something at some time. Most of the time it's sports, stocks, and music. But, politics, a little bit.
Yeah, politics we don't like. We don't like.
Yeah. So it's like we dive into that shit and we're learning all of that at the same time because we're constantly sending shit. Chris, I joke around with you. I don't even know if you sleep because you send shit to the group chat at 10 at night, 1 in the morning, 4:30 in the morning, 5:30 in the morning, 6:30 in the morning. Hey, stocks is open up. Y'all check this shit out. 8, 10, like you're constantly putting information and gems of links into the group chat. So I get to wondering, Dan, does this motherfucker survive off little cat naps?
Yeah, I mean, that's what it turned into. Especially COVID hasn't helped the situation, but it's definitely been cat naps. Cat naps, what's going on? What can I learn? Because like right now we at a standstill. So the only way you can advance is like up top, right? So especially messing with money, and too many people are doing too, like we said before, like me and Wally, like 2 years ago, for instance, the market was not moving at this move, like pace. this pace, this volume, right? Like they were convinced like we weren't going anywhere, that we were going to actually sell out, because me and him were kind of like trying to figure out like, all right, what we're going to do, and how we're going to approach this. They don't think the market can grow anymore, but we still need to get invested. This is our time. We're trying to make a profit. And then now, like 2 years later, to see it swinging, like to go to sleep for like 15, 20 minutes and then wake up and find out that you missed a 10% discount on a stock that you might have been staring at for like the past 3 months. Like that happens these days, man. like how many times you try to buy Tesla? You try to buy Tesla like maybe over 20 times.
Hey, I jumped in there, bro. I jumped on Tesla and rode that wave a little bit, but it was weird. I learned patience with Tesla a lot. Here.
And that's what you need with stocks, though, is a lot of patience.
All right, give Daddy 1 second, and then I'm going to go fill it up, okay? Okay, I got you. I'll put some milk in her. So with Tesla, she jumped into other microphones talking in it. This is too cute. I wish I could jump to the camera over there. That's why I needed Jamie, bro, to be in the side doing the camera angles and shit, moving it around. In time. But with Tesla, for instance, I don't remember exactly what price I jumped in at originally. I think it was like 700. And you guys were like, nope, it's too late. It's too late. And then next thing we know, from the time it hit like 700 to when it hit 1,500 was like a matter of what, 2 weeks?
It was 2 weeks, yeah.
Oh my God. And then
if we want to be technical, it went from 700 to 1,000. Dropped a little bit to 900, hung out for a little bit, and it jumped all the way up.
I was just gonna say that's when I got sick, bro. I jumped in at like 7, rode it up to 1,000, put a stop loss on, and then it triggered a stop loss at like 950, and I never bought back in, and that's when it jumped to 15. And we kept saying every morning, we were like, it's too late, it's too late, it's too late, because it went from 1,000 to 15 in what, 4 or 5 days.
Yeah. Didn't it hit like almost hit 50?
Almost hit what?
Didn't it jump up to the 19s for a little bit?
I think it was in the high 18s, I believe. Hey,
18s.
Take my hat off of him, silly. She put my white hat on my dog.
That was baby. But I said like, hey man, it's running.
I'm gonna go fill up the cup. Go ahead, keep going. I'll jump back in again.
But yeah, it was just like it's running too hot, man. It's running too hot. That next day, that joint dropped.
Yeah, and then it's like once we figured out why it was running hot, and that was them trying to, they were trying to get into the 500.
Yeah, everybody was thinking like, all right, they're gonna get into the 500. That's they're gonna be included into the index. So
Yeah,
what? So what? Like, that's not gonna make them more profitable. Like,
it
but you know,
don't.
it's the Momo crowd, bro. We talk about it all the time.
Yeah, the FOMO crowd. What's crazy is the fact that we watched it increase so high, and then it got to a point. Once it reached that point, it dropped, and then it was like, oh, if they do this in this certain amount of time, which was what actually showed profit,
Uh-huh.
then they'll be eligible and everything. And then it was like right at the deadline, everybody hopping back in. You watch it increase again, and then it's just everybody on that FOMO, which made it go. But I mean, shout out to Elon Musk and hype.
Oh yeah,
Like that's
definitely.
really what it came down to.
Like we talked about it. We always like like Matt brought up. I wish we could figure out a way to invest in people, right? Like, you remember he was like, man, I just want to invest in Elon Musk.
Yeah,
And I was like, that's not a bad idea. Like investing into, but it's hard when you think about it because not everybody's gonna have the business mindset to grow your money. So just because, like, for instance, like I love Snoop Dogg to death, right? But
yeah,
I'm not running and skipping to go investing in any project he got going on. I'm just keeping it real because I don't see it growing to the same level like Elon Musk, for
I mean,
instance, right? Or Rogers. Like, let's talk about Rogers, right? That dude's, Virgin Galactic. I'm gonna stick with them all the way. But
yeah,
it's I don't know, man. Like, I still feel bad that we ain't grabbed it at 200.
nah, it is what it is. But it has to be known and taken in context. A lot of this is low key a guessing game, but at the same time, it's not. It's like a 60-40 guess, really, because when you understand how people are moving, because they show it on Yahoo or something, you understand how people are moving. Like we get to see it firsthand. Be like, this is about to happen. Like
Yeah.
when I told you Uber was about to buy like Grubhub or something,
Yep.
I knew it a week in advance. So it's just like,
Yeah, we know, and that's another thing too that a big gym that per se is like the news sources, man. I can't, like, the news sources. Like, it's nice to know what the pop thing is happening, like the headlines. Yeah, know the headlines, but be in tune with your company, like who you invest with. Know what they're doing under the background, like the stuff that's not so fun to read, the stuff that's not so fun to talk about. Like, know when they're talking about mergers. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
Like, know when they're talking about cutting people off, or know when they're talking about like switching CEOs. Like, know this stuff, man. Know when the activist investor buys a huge amount of shares with them on a low key. Because a lot of people don't understand, like, some people buy shares over time. They'll make a deal, like they'll make a deal and say, hey, we're gonna buy this X amount of shares of your company over this amount of time. And then for that last 25%, we'll give a last minute kicker to just jump you
yeah,
up, right? So that way
mhm,
it doesn't have a dramatic effect on that ticker. But you got to understand these things. But if you're not reading the news, you don't know. Like I made a mistake one time. I was invested in a company, and I was just kind of like surveying their news. Wasn't really diving into the meat of their balance sheets or what they had going on in their earnings reports. And they had a merger going on for a full year, dog. Did not know. And next thing you know, my stocks dropped. I got new stocks that I didn't even know what company it was. Everything went down. And it was because I wasn't really paying attention. They were saying it. And then last minute, I found out through the news because that was a headline, but it's too late. And I guess that's
yeah.
another lesson. Like, if you've seen it in the headline, chances are it's too late.
All right. So, for instance, uh, Berkshire Hathaway today,
Yeah.
homie bought 5 billion shares, right? So, what's that tell me? That price is gonna be going up, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Y'all know a lot more than me,
So the thing,
but
yeah, you're right. I mean, that's a big deal. Buybacks during COVID, that's a big deal.
before that, I bought Berkshire at 170. Yeah, yesterday was at what 220
Yep.
Yeah,
because that
slowly.
deal probably been in place, buying them shares back, as you were saying.
Yeah, he definitely, they had it. So he was quiet. He was quiet for a hot minute. He's been holding the money. They've been holding money. They haven't been doing much with their money until they started buying Bank of America stocks and all that good
Yeah,
stuff. And they also bought some energy access. They bought some of Duke, well, not Duke, Dominion, right? Dominion Energy. He bought some of that. And then who knows, behind closed doors, he probably just like, you know what? Nobody's doing stock buybacks because they feel like it's a risky thing to do. I feel like we have enough money. We can continue our stock buybacks. So to me, that's a big deal because across the board, you're hearing the Fed tell banks that they can't. They're like, nah, like no stock buybacks. Like it's just not happening.
I feel like he low-key trolling everybody though. Also,
I do,
like,
man. I really hate it. They talk about Buffett like he don't know what he's doing. Like Buffett might be out. He might be outdated, or you know what I'm saying. Buffett might be out of his league now, or he's too old and he need to retire. Like no, man. Like shut up.
and it's crazy because
that motherfucker obviously knows what he's doing.
yeah,
Like,
and he has a team now.
Yeah, anybody that doesn't think Warren Buffett is still that motherfucker, they're sorely wrong.
Wrong. Like I get it. People are kind of confused. So why did you die? Like why did you dive out of the airlines? Why did you he removes 100% exposure from the airline?
Yeah.
You know why? He did it for the same reason I did it in June. So I exited the airline industry completely. Y'all my witness. I exited completely.
I think we all did. Wally, you still did?
Yeah, we all did. And tell me
why.
So no, but now I'm still at the same average. I bought back like a month later, and it went right back to where it was.
It's not doing shit.
So what profit would he have made if he would have still had exposure? Because he doesn't sell shares. It's not like Buffett buys shares and trade them. He doesn't buy a billion trillion shares or something and then trade them later. Like nah, he buys a whole chunk of something and he holds on to it for 10 some odd years. So why waste your time getting something expensive in his taste? Like I don't know. I supported what he did, but I bought airlines when he did. When he got rid of the airlines, I bought them because he sunk them so bad that they were just so cheap. I couldn't help myself.
Oh yeah, I remember. If I knew more, well, you know what? I can't even say anything because it was such a weird time when everything went to shit in March that I'm sure even the most experienced people was like, fuck this, like Warren Buffett did. I remember Mark Cuban was saying that he wasn't touching anything for a long time as well.
Yeah.
So,
you heard it from a lot of people.
But American dropped to like $7 or some shit like that. So even if you bought 100 of them and it just went back to 11, you made a lot of money, man. A lot of money.
Just for participating. Just for playing. Yep. Like,
and that's what we talk about in the group too, is that, when this weird time of just recovery stocks are done and it comes to actually stocks getting better because the companies get better and their fundamentals look better, those wannabe investors are going to start falling off.
Yeah. And honestly, that's so it's two things that's kind of like two things that worry me about that is like you have those investors who might get fatigued and fall off. So that's less money coming into the market, less volumes. And then on top of all that, let's say things do get back to normal and the Fed reverses the whole inflation situation, right? And then the Fed starts doing interest rate hikes and things start to, because we're healthy now, we need to start paying off our own debts as a country. What happens then? Like do you know how to play in that type of market? Like, do you know how to move around in that type of market? Because it's going to swing.
Yeah.
It's going to swing.
And when to buy and what is the new normal for it is going to be completely different. Like the new normal for everybody is March 23rd, which that's the day everything dropped. But before that last year, like a $13 stock was sitting at 18 last year before December. And all of a sudden we're like 13, that's a deal. No, that's the new normal. So,
that might not be a deal. That might just be the new normal. And that's what scares me, man. Like remember with GE, me and you were like, GE's never gonna go back to 33, but we have faith that it will go to 13, right? Yep. And that's
exactly where we're sitting at.
that was their new normal. Like how do you expect the company to make the same amount of money and produce the same amount of products or do any of that stuff with less people and less assets to do it?
Mm-hmm.
That's what's priced into the market right now, and I think it's funny. Like all right, that's cool. Because like, what happens when, like, for instance, there's an argument right now saying, do you help the airlines or do you let the airlines fail so that they can fix themselves now rather than fix themselves later? Because no matter what, they're gonna have to fix themselves. Like, because we're not traveling. Like, people really stubborn if they think we're traveling at the same like level.
You're
We're gonna
crazy.
like,
Just fly to the airport. You'll see the difference.
Yeah, it's not happening. I mean, it might not be that way for a minute. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know the statistics on it, but how long did it take people to start flying again after 9/11?
I haven't even looked at those numbers.
Right? Because it might be a similar reaction. Like, it might be the same way. Because you know, you might take them a while to recover. But I'm here for the ride. So
Yeah, you gotta recover mentally.
yeah.
Like, when do I start feeling safe again to get on a plane and not worry about getting sick? Worry about my kids.
Yeah. Now that I'm safe, do I even have the money now?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Because how much money did I lose, or how did the trajectory of my life change because of COVID? You know, there's people out there that are most of the people that got that $600 stimulus bonus on the unemployment every week.
Yeah.
That's more money than they ever seen. But there's other people that even with that 600, they're like, man, I'm really trying to make ends meet right now. And people never look at the other side of it.
Yep.
Because that group of people that the 600 was like fucking heaven falling in their hands, they're like, holy shit, this is more money than I may ever see again.
Yeah.
And then, but nobody ever mentions, man, I'm losing so much money every week. With this 600, I could barely pay my bills.
Yep.
How long do they take to recover? How long do they take to start traveling again? Stuff like that.
And isn't that where the heart of our economy is? Isn't that, like, you know, where the growth of our GDP comes from? Like the middle class, right? So, and I feel like the middle class, we're going to be hurt. Like, we're going to be hurt for a little bit. It sucks. I mean, it really does suck, but I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, I guess, for people to just like, oh, this is a bear market. I love bear markets. I've always loved bear markets since I even heard of the concept of what a bear market is. Because they don't last long, right? And that's what people keep forgetting. Like, they do
And you
not
can take advantage.
So take advantage of it. Take advantage of it for now. Buckle down, because there will be a brighter day. You know what I'm saying? The sun will shine on the other end, especially in the market. And now is just the time to be focused so that you don't have to pay that much attention to it or care. It could be like it, because, like, honestly, bull markets, especially old, mature bull markets, from my little bit of experience that I have, that's scary, because, like, you really got to know what you're doing at the top of that, man. Like, because everybody is winning, and you don't know who's going to win more and who might go backwards because everybody else is winning. Like since when another company has nothing to do with one can fail, and because that company failed, then the whole sector goes down because that sector is no longer thriving. Like, get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happens in, like, hot markets, man. But when the market is chilling like it is now, like, actually, you know, it has some room for growth, and you can do, well, I wouldn't say now, but how it was in May. That was fun. May was fun because you can make some, you know, risky moves and actually test some strategies out and learn some things, and it didn't really bite you in the butt.
Yeah, I learned a lot. I started stocks. I started investing in March. Mm-hmm. So it's like my entire knowledge of stocks has came from then. You know, I learned a little bit in my in one of my finance classes, but as far as dipping my toes in the water, yeah, March is when I got going. Yep. So it's been weird as fuck for me. Like, I'm learning stocks during a pandemic and pandemic recovery.
Yeah. If you can learn how to swim now or surf, you know, we use all types of different metaphors and analogies when we talk about this. But if you can learn how to surf in these waters, you're definitely going to be straight when things are normal, like when we can actually talk about balance sheets. Because, like, right now we talk about balance sheets, but what do they really mean? Like what debt is acceptable right now and what isn't acceptable? What multiples are you trading that are acceptable? Like, what is the new normal? Like, Like people are getting on Disney, right? Like, oh, Disney shouldn't be trading at that multiple. Disney's no longer a theme park anymore. Like, I get it. You're holding on to it. The theme park died in 2020. Rest in peace. It might come back, but it ain't gonna come back the same. Yeah, but it's not going to be that.
Yeah, this just a time that we're going through. It'll be gone, and we'll forget about it.
True, to a certain extent, right? Like you have to think about it.
You're always gonna have that arm's reach, though. Like, hey, motherfucker, give me a little distance.
Give me a little distance, but like, for instance, I see Disney's streaming service outpacing its theme parks and all that good stuff. Whereas right now, and for the past couple of decades, all its revenue came from merchandising and theme parks. That's why it's hurting right now. Yep. So yeah, you could get upset and be like, Disney is trading at this multiple, but Disney, to me, when I see Disney trading at that multiple, I see Disney trading at a lower multiple than Netflix, right?
Yeah, speaking of Netflix, bro, I'm getting the fuck out of Netflix.
but that's the thing, it's like when you see it, like Netflix trades at a crazy multiple. So
it's
Disney
like 450, 460 versus Disney, which I think just crossed 130, I believe.
Yes, exactly. And Netflix is all streaming. So that's how I look at it. Like Disney streaming is going to take off.
So you're saying that Disney is going to be up there in the 400s soon enough. Because not only is it streaming and they're growing at an insane rate, but they also have everything else that's Disney. So when
Disney recovers, it's just going to keep that going. Like, it's going to be one of those situations like, oh, snap, now the train is moving. Like, if you weren't on this train, don't try to hop on now because it's going to be moving too fast. Like, that first earnings report in a couple of years, maybe, 3 or 5 years, when they're like, we are working at a capacity that's higher and greater than the capacity we were working at in 2019. As soon as you hear those in earning reports, it's a wrap. This is going to take off.
And they low-key monopolized, but nobody really paid attention to it.
I was just about to say Disney is trying to monopolize everything.
They have sports. People forget that. They have sports. Like
ESPN, we're in Brazil. As far as like cartoons and shows for kids, that's them. Because who is their competition? Nickelodeon? You don't see Nickelodeon with an IPO.
Nope.
Like, so it's things like
I'm
that.
chopping this up. This is good right here. This is a good little snippet, boy.
It's like you have to think about it. You have to compare apples with apples with these companies, and a lot of people just don't do that. Like Disney secretly took over the last like before we were born, all of us. Disney had some type of plan. I don't know what it was about, but they got into communications, and they got into communications heavy. And when they got into communications and media, it's slowly but surely. Like I remember being a little boy asking my mom, Disney really has their own radio station? I remember saying that. Like Disney really have their, and this is back in the early 90s now. Like when like actual FM stadium, like FM station, Disney. And I was blown away. And they had their own catalog. They didn't play anybody else's music.
That's right, the original Kids Bop.
And the beautiful thing about that is that they just took all their own stars and just made them another star on a different platform.
Yep.
And in turn was still promoting all of their stuff.
Yep. And what was you saying, Wally?
And people forget how international they are. Like there's different Disney stars in different places. So it's like over here in Saudi Arabia, on Saudi Arabia Disney, they got, like these 2-3 people. And then over here in Japan or China, they got like these 2 or 3 people. And we never know about them because we in the U.S. So we like, oh, we got, Selena Gomez or somebody. And then
Hannah Montana.
Yeah.
And as soon as they go, they can just either rotate them and be like, oh, here's a new star. And be like, no, she's been on Disney for years. We're just meeting her.
Yeah, we're just meeting her. Exactly. We're just meeting. Same thing with music. It's like, they've been popping in Europe the whole time. They just could care less about spending the money. It's just like with business, right? Why hop into a different market if you know you're not gonna get the market share? Why waste your time? But if you think you're bold enough and big enough to get market share, then go for it. It's the same thing with like you said, music, artists and stuff. Like who knows how long it took for Hannah Montana to go over to the other countries, like for them to know like Hannah Montana, like you know what I mean, like before they're here, like. And I always wonder how long, like we talk, like let's go way back. Let's talk about Jimi Hendrix. Like Jimi Hendrix got popular in another country before he got popular in his own.
Mm-hmm.
So it's crazy, like you were saying, like just know what these companies are doing. Like they all the stuff that we take for granted, they're making money off of.
Yeah.
It's because we have the lack of knowledge.
Yep.
They got all the knowledge in like a bank. And you just open up the bank and they're like, shit, what do we want today? Mm-hmm. They have it all already versus we got to go and find it first.
Like the Disney Fox deal, I remember how I was really deep into that deal. I remember I was consumed in that deal.
I think everybody was.
It was such a big deal because what people were like, they're like, so people that I knew of, they knew what was happening in the United States, but nobody knew what the fight was in Europe with Comcast.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the big deal because I didn't know how big of an, like, I didn't know Comcast was that big. Like, to be honest, like I knew Comcast was big, but I didn't know they were that big that they were going to other countries and taking up medias. Like, I didn't know that. And since just to find out that
Comcast is really big overseas.
Yeah, apparently, like that's when I found out then. Because they were battling Disney.
Shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So,
I know that when they were battling for the deal, but versus how big they were, I didn't know.
Situations they had to do. So when it came down to it, I remember me and Wally rejoiced when it was Comcast that backed out. It's like, we're done.
Because they would have fucked everything up. All I gave a fuck about was the movies. And I was like, don't fuck the movies up, bro. I'm trying to watch the X-Men and with the Avengers and all them motherfuckers in the same shit. Don't fuck it up.
That's what I was, honestly, that's what I was worried about. I wanted them to finally get the rights.
Yeah.
One location, so we can finally get over this and actually start doing our thing. Like, but then I understand it was a whole news aspect. They didn't want certain people to have a certain amount of control over the news. That's what it all came down to. So I guess after Fox got rid of some stuff and deals were made, and then the deal went through, and everybody now is like years later, everybody forget that it was such a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
We don't even acknowledge it anymore. Like the T-Mobile Sprint, right? That was a big deal. That was a new thing. It was a T-Mobile and Sprint, right?
Yep.
Put it like this: if they did that, we'll say 10 years ago, 20 years ago, it would have been a big deal. But since they did it now, everybody's sitting there like, well, I don't care. Scam blocker? That's what you're going to hit me with?
I think a lot of people fall asleep on the fact that we got a gigantic company swallowing another gigantic company.
Yeah, that's scary.
It's shifting, like, it's shifting history.
A lot of like, let's talk about Amazon, right? I feel like they get grouped in with the rest of them, but Amazon is the worst. Because, like, you're a bookstore, like, you don't have no business in half of the things you get. Like, he's upset that he lost the deal on the rockets. Like, Bezos is upset that he couldn't, his Amazon's little subsidiary couldn't get their rocket contract with the United States Air Force.
Yeah.
Say Tesla and some other company, not Tesla, was it? Yeah, I think it was Elon Musk, SpaceX, and another company got it. And he's upset.
If like, greedy motherfucking ass doesn't calm his bitch ass down, shit, you're already $1 trillion company. Goddamn.
Why do you want to go to space, man? Like, why are you trying to get in that field, man? Like,
why not? That's what he said.
Exactly. Why not? But
a lot of people are saying why not now.
I mean, that was always the question, though. That was always a question. Like, when everybody say why, the real question is why not?
Why not?
And half the time you can't even answer it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what's crazy.
The only concern now is because they're a little bit too powerful and they're messing politics up. Honestly, that's the only reason they care. If they weren't messing up politics, I don't even think they would be caring about this.
Yeah, you get Jeff Bezos behind you. You got money behind you.
Yeah, you're winning.
Like, period.
I mean, but the dude is frugal. Let's be real about that.
I mean, they all are.
Now he frugal. He frugal. Like, hey, we need money to help these Australian fires, and he's like, here's 690,000. You're worth billions. I'll give you some thousands.
Yeah, I don't understand certain moves like that when you're worth billions a day.
You might as well be throwing pennies at strippers.
Basically.
That's fucked up.
But again, I never want to tell a man what to do with his money, ever.
I mean, yeah, and what I hear all the time is like, why you in my pockets? I mean,
I feel that. But it's like when you get to the point where you have too much money, like you can't even spend it. What the fuck can you buy? You can't even spend it. You're gonna start buying cities and states and shit now.
Yeah, but do something with it also.
If you give me that much money, I think I'll be trying to buy cities, low key. Like if I had,
I would. I'll start off with islands and shit.
Yeah,
I'll be Akon. Right off the back, I'll be Akon.
You're gonna save countries and shit.
Not necessarily save, but it's more or less like I'm gonna take over and then
You're gonna modernize.
We're gonna upgrade it, and then from there, I'm gonna just be like, since this is technically my city, just give me 5%, and y'all can have everything else. You know, how they keep doing, become self-sufficient. Because at the end of the day, I still get paid off of it.
Especially, it's your currency. It's your currency.
You can slap your face on the dollar bills and everything.
How do you not like that? When people like dog Akon for his thing, I'm like, yo, you know that it's just their own currency, right? So, like, his currency is connected to a cryptocurrency. Therefore, it has a limit to what it's gonna be, and he's always gonna have control because it's his currency. I need you to understand that he's lending out his currency to development. I'm down. I'm not moving over there. I won't. I have no interest in experiencing it on grounds, but I'll definitely like to keep up with what happens for him and how that goes. Like you were saying, I laughed first time I heard of it. No lie, because I thought about Akon and I heard him singing in the background.
We all did. That's what's crazy. We all laughed at him at first, but it'd be the ones who come up with ideas that we be like, you're crazy or that's impossible. That's us just putting our fear onto them because we know we can't do it or we don't think we can. So that's why I mess with low-key the crazy people who be like Elon Musk, like, I'm going to go to space. Bro, you barely made a car. all of a sudden he got a spaceship. And he's going there on Tuesdays.
It's funny too. I want to build two. I want to build a rocket that I can reuse to go back and forth, and I want to build one I could just. Well, y'all know how I feel about Virgin Galactic. So y'all know exactly how I feel about that. Like,
we jump into space. We jumping over back to space.
Yeah, people are going to fly there. People who have money to waste, and they're going to use it, man. Like, I'm sorry. Like, if you had a lot of money, let's just say you had $1 trillion. You're not going to take a ride if you had a chance to just go on the edge of space?
100%. Everybody with money is going to do that.
On top of that, think of the thought process. Like, we're in the thought process like, man, one day I want to be a millionaire. Yeah. Those millionaires are in the thought process of like, man, one day I want to be a billionaire. Those billionaires are in the process of like, I wonder how much Mars costs. Like, that's how different it is. Like they are already talking about Mars.
They are. It's funny you brought that up. Something came across my phone talking about they are selling real estate on Mars. And my first thought was like, but we don't own it. Like how?
Yeah, no one's own it. And then like it also makes me think. I forgot the dude's name, but he owns like a certain height of air or something like that. So when like New York started putting up buildings, it's like, how do you own sky?
It was airspace or something like that, right? Like he owned like a certain like cubic something of airspace, and because you built to it, I read something similar on that. That's crazy to me. Like, who thinks of
stuff like that? Like, who thinks of that early, and then do it? Crazy people.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're buying a cubic foot of air, fuck you. Let me have some of your fucking money. All right, because I'm like, I want to buy a good steak every now and again, motherfucker. You're buying air.
Yeah, there's no other way you can put it. You are buying airspace.
I'll go take that shit. You won't do
Like
nothing.
I was saying, like we were saying, it's like a cause and effect. So if you're flying to the edge of space, it's only a matter of, well, he's working on getting to the edge of space. And he's also working on, sonic speed flights, for lack of a better term, or the knowledgeable term for it. While Elon Musk is working on back and forth transportation from the Space Center to Florida and California. It's only a matter of time, like I said in the group, they're going to build a hotel. Somebody's going to have a hotel for these dignitaries and all these people who are flying back and forth. So who's going to get that contract, right? Who's going to build the first place to sleep and eat in NASA space station? Like, it's a great question.
That's pretty dope.
I don't know who it is, but I'm definitely going to keep my eye on every little thing that come across for Space Atlantic. Like, anybody he's doing a deal with, like Rolls-Royce, find out when he did that deal with them, I'm like, all right, he's really getting legit. Like, he's really trying, like, this ain't no dream. Like, this is going to happen.
And if you got people like that backing you, it's not no pretension. You're going to see it through and make sure it happens.
Yeah, that's a lot of money to just lose.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is it to them though? Because we also got to think, like, what we look at as a lot of money is just a dent to them.
That's like paying a mortgage once.
Yeah, aerospace is an expensive. That's an expensive venture. Like,
You imagine how many rappers are gonna go to space
when it happens. Like, that's gonna be like, who's gonna be the first rap video?
Yeah.
Space, like.
Not just that, but a lot of rappers, they're splurging like a motherfucker. They're gonna be like, "Hey man, fuck it, let's go to space."
I'll sign a contract to go to space.
Fuck yeah, I would if I had the money. Fuck yeah, I'm going to space.
How many albums you need? 3 albums? Got you.
Hey, I want a $5 million signing bonus and 1 round trip ticket to space.
And if I don't survive, $100 million to my family.
Yep. Get that bomb ass life insurance.
Yeah.
I'm very confident that it's going to be really safe trips within 5 years. I know that might be ambitious, but I feel like secretly there will be some good trips happening in that, whether it's the edge of the earth or it's just going back and forth to NASA.
I mean, it's technically not even secretly anymore. Cause like, who was it? It was SpaceX who just recently did it, right? And they just brought the dudes back safely. The 2 dudes, I don't know, the name was like David and John or something like something.
Yeah, you saw what happened with them, right?
No.
They landed, and people were supposed to clear out the landing space. And instead of clearing out the landing space, everybody got closer to it. So the thing literally landed on somebody's vessel. So that it was like some huge deal about it. So now they're like all upset, and like Elon's like, they leaked information. Like, it's funny how that works. Like, if something's falling out of the sky,
I'm getting the fuck out of there. Hey, they're looking up like, ooh, who is it today?
Humans, man, humans.
I mean, it's curiosity though, right?
You haven't seen anybody new in X amount of time, so you're like, who the fuck is dropping by today?
Yeah.
Ooh, pretty.
Like, you think about it, half the times I don't even want to answer my doorbell, but I gotta see you on the other side. Wow, hi. It's Chris. I lucked out. Like it be stuff like that. It could be Jehovah's Witness.
It could be motherfuckers trying to sell some shit.
Yeah,
it's nice, man. Like, but just like we were saying, just the thought of these innovative situations. Some of them, like for instance, Nikola. I don't like the CEO from what I can see off of like his interviews and his talk. That dude is very pompous. Like, I don't know if y'all seen him talk or anything like that though. Like, I'm talking about this dude is like, he's nothing like his 2 other co-founders per se, or his partners. He's nothing like them. I like his partners. His partners are realistic. He seemed like he's trying to hype it up to, he's confident in his product. But what product? You haven't built the truck yet, right? So I mean, I can back you, but like, cause I'm all for it. Like, so like, y'all know me. I'm all into the renewable energies and EVs and all that good stuff. I was into it well before it was a hype thing. Like, better for the environment, done correctly. So when you tell me that it's an electrical semi truck, and you're building an infrastructure that they can transport these, well, I wouldn't say transport, but these trucks can actually transport goods across the nation using an electric battery or a hydrocarbon, whatever direction you want to take with it is a renewable energy source, and you're trying to put it into a semi-auto. I'm cool with that.
100%.
I'm gonna back him. I'm gonna back him. I'm gonna back the company. I'm gonna be invested in that company, not because of the hype, but just because of what he's trying to do. Like, I would be like, that'll put a smile on my face when I see that first semi that you drive by it, and I'm telling him to honk, and it's flashing this nice little electronic, modern-looking lights, and it's honking at me. And it's just like, yeah, we have an electric semi-truck on the roads right now. Like, that's legit. Same thing with the cruise ships that they're doing. They're trying to make electrical cruise ships, which I feel like you kind of way out of the park on that one. But since you're thinking about cruise ships, that means you're very close on boats, right? So how far is it to you can have electrical speedboats or electrical jet skis and stuff like that, where you can just charge it up instead of like, I don't know if y'all read jet skis before, but it's annoying when you got to deal with the gas situation, right? Like, it's not the best. Like, I don't like putting gas in my lawnmower or anything like that because it spills and does crazy stuff. So if I could just charge up my jet ski and just hop in the water and then ride into the battery guys, I'm cool with that.
Yeah. It still goes back to, it's still a bunch of information that's there, because obviously we not no experts and all that. We just some dudes who found out how to use Google properly and YouTube. And you can tell we learn a vast amount of things as far as us figuring out like what's doing what, and all this just to get in the stock market. It sounds like a lot, but one article a day, turns into I knew everything that happened all year.
Yeah.
And that's how it still connects to the stock market, because we talking about stuff that's not even happened yet. And there's some people who could be like, oh, the Jordan 28's coming out, a month later, and it's like, bruh, like that's the same thing we're doing. We're
really
keeping up with what's coming out.
It really
that's
is.
All the stock market is.
Keeping up with it and just making moves based off of it. Like, it's funny because I remember when we first got started, I was just saving up the money, but I didn't invest in anything. I just read. 6 months of just reading, like talking about 3 hours a day, just sitting there reading on that stuff. And at first I didn't understand most of it. It was like blah, 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 money, percentage, blah, 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 return on interest, blah, 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 bear market, bull market, blah, blah, blah. I didn't understand any of it. Now it's like, I get it.
Yeah.
You're starting to fill in those sentences that you didn't understand before, and it's all starting to come paint a clear picture.
Yep.
And this all started off with us just being curious on how it worked. Like, realistically, when we first started, we didn't know anything.
Nothing.
It was just like, oh, I got Acorns, or I got Robinhood, I got $200 that I'll probably spend on some burgers, and then next thing you know, here we are talking about thousands.
It really was. It's like, hey, you trying to watch anime and just stack up on some cash and put that same cash into the app? They were like, all right, bet. We're buying like $5, like about $5 socks here, $10 socks there.
Yeah, you even came. I'm pretty sure you came to the house a few times, and we just sitting there talking about stocks, watching anime or sports.
Yep.
And confusing everybody until somebody throws us off into a whole different conversation. And that's all it was. And that's how we started.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Like anytime we took a loss, it was just like, hey, that was a Happy Meal, or that was like a session. Like when we went out, like eating in Hawaii, that was like $25 minimum feeding like one adult in Hawaii. It was like $25, like to keep it real.
Yep, well, unless you was going to the local spots.
Yeah, and even then you dropping 15.
I'm talking about local spots, like you go get some loco moco and it's
those
$8.99. Yeah. But 95% of the time, it's $25 a head about.
I remember McDonald's, bro, $12 to feed me. at McDonald's in Hawaii. Like, and that's like trying to
In defense, when you eat, bro, you eat a fucking lot.
True.
The homie went. I went to Lily Hot with him numerous times, and he was getting 2 entrees every time, and smacking all of that shit. Or he'll bring one home, and by the time he got home, he'll eat it. I'm the same way, but Chris is like 140 pounds.
Yeah, and the amount of biscuits I've seen him eat.
Hey, granted, Lily Hot has the best rolls I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, I will advertise for them for free for the rest of my life. If they guarantee there's 12 rolls a day. Like
he said per day. God damn.
Y'all remember? I can't make that up, man. Never had anything like
that. They were bomb.
You had to have a lot of self-control. You had to have a lot of self-control to not order more and more of them. And those motherfuckers, bro, they knew it. So one roll, you get one with your meal, with your entree, and then after that, it was like $2.99 a roll. I'm talking about one tiny little piece of perfection with the perfect compliment jelly on top. $2.99, bro.
As I talk about the fresh jelly. Oh, you getting me? See, I will fly to Hawaii. Like if I had money like that, I would fly to Hawaii just eat Lily Ha's. And then go to the Maui chicken spot. You know what I'm saying?
Mike's. Oh my God, bro. The best little sub chicken sandwich I've ever had in my life.
I used to, who wakes up early in the morning and drive all the way down to, you know what I'm saying?
The Schofield, they get
some chicken. They sit in traffic for hours just to get some chicken.
And it was worth it. The entire ride back down to the city, rubbing your belly, thankful that you made that drive up there.
Yeah, definitely. Like if whoever's listening and whoever will listen, if you go to Hawaii,
you go to
Lily House is right outside of the airport. You don't even have to go far. Like it's really like 5 minutes from the airport.
I'm sure they bus to Lily House.
To Lily House, they should.
Yeah,
they should. They really should.
It's a staple. Like you can't go to Oahu and not eat Lily House. If you did, you didn't go, and if you did go, you wasted your money.
Yeah, you did not do your due diligence before you made that trip out there. There's places to eat that you must go.
That you must go. Yeah, like try it all, man. Like get a what is it they had at McDonald's? Get you a Simon noodles from McDonald's.
Oh yeah. your spam breakfast and stuff too.
Breakfast, yeah, your Loco Moco.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we over here reminiscing now.
Yeah.
And I'm about to go back. What?
How long you gonna be there for?
Like 2-3 weeks, and then I'm out to sea.
Yeah.
How long are you out to sea for?
I heard this one short, so probably like 5 months.
You doing it for Rimpat?
That shit don't sound short to me.
I don't know what I'm doing it for. They were just like Wallace.
Sam been here hustling the whole time.
You heard that?
Wally,
yeah.
Butter rolls, bro.
They're not gonna make it.
They're not gonna make it.
They're not gonna make it.
Word, because if they can't, I don't think they won't make it to the house, bro.
They won't make it out the store.
Don't they have like a mix? Like they have we went right back to the biscuits. That's how good these biscuits are.
They're life changing.
They really are.
Huh?
They have a mix, I think. They have a flour mix. If you see that, man, mail it. I'll try to make it. Be disappointed too. Take a picture and be like, this is what Lily House biscuits does not look like.
Yeah, no. Well, hey, if anybody were to do it, Chris or Sam, I'm with that try.
Yeah, I have faith. I have faith in you having faith in me. So I will definitely try.
All right. Well, it looks like I better book them fucking tickets to Memphis so y'all can swoop me. Shit.
They ain't got Lily House out here.
But they got a Chris and Sam though, and a Sweet New Beginning. Speaking of which, man, I was gonna tell you before we hopped on, but if Sam could hear me, send me a logo, Sweet New Beginnings logo or whatever the fuck you got, so I could throw it on my wall.
I will.
She right here. She heard you.
Yeah, Right here, I'm gonna start filling this space in with merch from everybody that gets on the pod.
You see that?
Yep.
Blink 182.
Yep.
Cookie delivery soon. While I'm sitting here hanging out with y'all.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. You want to say what's up again?
You heard G-Mont.
You chilling? Oh, they going nine all of the brushes? All right,
Imagination is crazy.
Let her. She got that morning hair still.
But Levi, the election, so the fear about election. Some people, honestly, I don't see the fundamentals based on the fear. Like,
She's trying to give me a brush sponsorship or something. Look, she's showing it off like it's a makeup video. Watch out, baby.
Hey, speaking of that,
Watch out of here.
they make a lot of money on YouTube, so she's on to something.
Hey, she's doing one hell of a job, huh? This is her audition.
You might as well just get it together. They sit and watch kids play with toys for hours.
Mm-hmm.
Just watch other kids play with toys for hours. They got their own toys, but they rather watch them do it on TV.
I remember being at your guys' house for hours, and Libe would just watch. I remember him watching a kid play some Super Mario game.
That has not changed. It's still the same. Bro.
Hey, this is my baby brush, by the way. And then it found its way to her. So that was pretty cool.
Your baby brush?
My baby brush, yeah. Before this shit went bald, man. I used to have lots.
Hey, it was a little baby sporting them waves. Little baby Max sporting the waves.
I'm about to go put her to bath soon, man. I'm gonna do her hair. You know, I'm one of them girl dads, so I learned how to braid. I've been working on my French braids. I'm gonna get saucy with it because one of my biggest fears in being a dad, a girl dad especially, is if I have some shit to do and I'm unable to make her hair look nice.
Yeah.
You imagine that? Like, all right, we got this, whatever the heck we got to do, we got to go there. Oh, man, my daughter's hair looks like shit.
Like crazy, right? Yeah, nah.
Yeah, that ain't cool. If I'm looking fly, she better be looking better, So I started investing. I was watching videos on YouTube and shit about French braids and regular braids, and I'd be asking questions. But right now, no, man. She woke up, slept wild, enjoying her morning. So I'm gonna let her little crazy morning hair flop out.
Yeah, I got lucky. We all got locked. Brushing wet and move.
Speaking of locks, what's funny? Oh, my bad. Go ahead, Wally.
I was just gonna say, from what I saw, it's serious once you get like a barrette or something in your mouth while you're doing it. That's when you know it's real. That's when you got it.
I was gonna say I've had like 4 rubber bands in my lip and shit, holding it with a pin, separating it with a pin and shit. Man, I get down and dirty sometimes.
Real, yeah.
Yeah, man. But what was I saying? I forgot. So go ahead, Chris. What you was about to say? What?
What were we talking?
You was bringing up the election.
Oh yeah, we're talking about that and like the hype behind that, like how people are scared the market's gonna crash if Biden wins and this, that, and the third. And it's confusing because I feel like Democrats win every 4 to 8 years anyways. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, pretty much.
And the market's still going up. They go up anyways, right? So what I mean, and then you can't even pass these bills that fast, right? So Trump still hasn't done things he said he was going to do 4 years ago.
Stop, baby. Stop.
Like he said,
he barely did them. They just ain't coming effect yet or something.
Like he said something about the wall.
We're gonna go take a bath in a second. Sit down.
What wall?
All right, Sean.
The mental wall.
Hold on, guys. She wants to show you she's catching a Pokemon.
Okay, what we catching?
One of them little birds. It's not a Pidgey, but it's like the newer shows Pidgey. Starly, I think it's called.
That's the only one I knew right now. So.
What, Pidgey?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You got past Pidgey. I don't know what it is.
I kept playing the games on the Game Boys and stuff over time, but I never watched the show past the first one. But I know some of the newer ones.
Yeah. I know because the kid, I've seen him. I even saw the new movie, Detective Pikachu. Actually,
it jumped out.
Oh, you didn't catch it. You gotta try again.
Hit it with the pinky. Yep.
With the pinky though.
Hey, so she, depending on what Pokemon it is, because you know how they go up and down and move around. So based on the Pokemon that she's catching, she'll either hit it with the thumb, pinky, or a middle finger, based on how far it needs to go, how short.
That's how she adjusted to it?
Yeah, she did all that on her own, man. That's her technique.
That's crazy. Like,
she's trying to catch them all at a very young age. The minimum age was 10, I believe, when you get your first Pokemon, but she's snagging them since she was 2.
Yep. It's funny.
Got him.
Look at that smile. So happy. Got it.
What's that, a fish? Yeah.
It's crazy hearing her.
Good job, baby.
Be a kid.
All right, we'll wait for some more to come, and then you can catch some more, okay? Because we got to catch them all. I'm still trying to train to be a Pokemon master, man. Ever since I was a kid.
Okay. You ain't like Ash though. He don't age.
I was just watching because she just started watching Pokemon. I think my brother put it on, and she was glued to the screen, and that doesn't happen to her anymore. She doesn't watch shit. She's like, Dad, play with me always, and I don't get tired. That's the age she's going through. So my brother put on Pokemon, and she was glued to the screen. So I was like, all right. It was the original, very first episode. Then yesterday she had me play Sun and Moon on Netflix, and she watched it a little bit, but that one was interesting, man.
Sailor Moon?
No, Pokemon Sun and Moon.
Oh, Sun and Moon?
Yeah. So she's changing her likes, man. I'm trying to roll with the punches and learn these new shows. But it's cool with Disney coming back to Disney, how Disney has their platform and they're replaying all of the shows that we may have watched when we were younger. So we don't have to learn the new shows coming out. We could put our kids onto the shows that we watched, or they could choose.
Yeah, that's true.
It's interesting.
They modernizing it. Yeah, they low-key modernizing it too.
The new shows, man. There's a lot of them I stick to, man. Like, they're on the roll right now. There's a lot of new shows, cartoons that they got out.
There's some good ones.
Oh man, some great ones.
Okay.
Let's see if I could log into my Hulu. I will announce.
Hey, Hulu, that's another Disney venture.
Oh yeah, people. Yeah, Hulu Freeform. Let's not forget about them too. How they snuck behind. They put all the content that they wouldn't put on their channel. They still put it on Freeform.
Yeah.
Like all the spicy stuff that they want, the real risque.
I've never even checked out.
One of them. Cloaks and Dagger was one of them, I believe.
Yep. Cloaks and Dagger, Little Liars. The list goes on. For real.
Yeah. They sneaky.
They're real sneaky.
Mm-hmm. Trying to find their loophole around everything so they could dabble into everything while still maintaining their same kid look.
Yeah. And that's crazy because they really did low-key monopolize kids. Like,
yeah.
Like, we don't look at it, but they caught us young. So when it's like, oh, we're coming out with, what did they drop? Toy Story 4? We were more hyped than the kids. We was like, y'all never saw this. You don't know about Woody and Buzz. But they wanted to watch it and we wanted to watch it. So it really came down to, you just got 2 tickets paid for the price of 1 because I already like it.
Yep, you know exactly. I was coming regardless. It just so happens I got a kid. So
you're right.
They're taking the shows that we were so deeply rooted to and so deeply invested in as kids. And like you guys are saying, they're bringing it back. So we're going to watch it and we're going to put our kids on. So they don't even have to advertise, really. Because it's like, okay, that was my favorite show growing up, and now you're gonna make it back
we
again. You're
we
gonna
were
remake
conditioned.
it.
Yeah, we were conditioned, so now we happy to condition them. Like,
Yeah, we definitely got to give it a chance.
but yeah, one of them is Over the Garden Wall. That's a little creepy one. It's like has a little scary actor to it. Another one, Miles from Tomorrowland. That's another one that these kids are watching. And then, of course, like you said, all the ones that we're still watching, they still have those on there. They got this one. What was it? The one that we always seen. The commercial for is like the super, is like futuristic. The girl.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't remember the name of it.
So, yeah, I'm gonna keep looking. Like, I'm about to log in like into Hulu.
But I can see the picture right now, but I can't.
And I'm just gonna sit here and just be dropping random cartoons.
Roy Jones Jr. friends Mike Tyson, giant monster, admits fight is very risky as duo prepare for comeback.
Because it is risky.
It was dumb as fuck. Look, like I've said before, Roy Jones Jr. is one of my favorite boxers ever. But he is getting in the ring with a caged lion that lost his veracity and his hunger.
Lost everything.
And he just got it back.
See, I think you're wrong. I think people sleep on Roy Jones Jr. Because remember, he was a heavyweight champion too.
Yes. Hey, don't get it twisted. Like I said, I am one of his biggest fans. But Roy Jones is commentating. He's chilling. He's out in Russia partying and shit. He's doing this because he loves boxing and wants to get back in the ring. Mike Tyson looks like he's trying to go for the title. That motherfucker's trying to eat people.
I can't.
I mean, I'm not gonna say nothing until we actually see it.
Can't be up here.
As far as it goes, I want to see it because I know that Roy hasn't really stopped as far as being
I feel that
an athlete.
Yeah.
And then Mike stopped. Mike's getting it back, and we see clips of it, of course. And we knew, like, if you actually paid attention to boxing, his defense was way better than his offense because his offense was doo-doo. It was 2 hits. That's all it took. But other than that, people forgetting Roy, he'll drown you. He'll make you move. He'll make you do all this. He'll take some hits. He'll dodge and all that. Like, Roy is a more complete boxer fully. So
yeah, that's
I love David, and all I've got is God on my side, which is all I'm gonna need.
Yeah, it really is David and Goliath.
Yeah, but
I don't agree.
As far as I see it, the longer that fight drags out, like the closer we get towards the end of the round, like the end of the fight, the
Roy
more
Jones has
I'm
the
gonna be
advantage.
up on Roy. Yeah.
I feel that
That's how
as far as being a better boxer, I think Mike Tyson is a lot better boxer than Roy. Mike Tyson was by the book, pinpoint accuracy, perfect movement. And I was talking to Chris earlier, whereas Roy was pure athleticism, getting off crazy ass punches from different angles and stuff, because he was probably one of the greatest athletes to ever step in the ring. So he could do things that other people couldn't.
Their steps against each other.
Oh, you hooping now.
I get that. That makes some sense to me, but yeah, overall Lomachenko's the best. I'll throw that out there now.
So Roy fought more than Mike. Of course, we know that.
Because like Wally said, he damn near never stopped. The homie fight seemed like it was just a few years ago.
What, 2, I believe?
Yeah, it was 2 years ago.
2018 was the last fight. Mike Tyson's last fight was 2005.
2005, yep.
When he
And
screwed
that
up.
was the first time he came back trying to fight. Who was it? Tovar?
I believe so. Yeah, man, it's gonna be interesting. Like, it all depends on how quick Roy is to Mike. That's all. But I'm loving it though.
This is like a dream matchup to me. It just sucks that it's like 20, 25 years too late. But still, like, to
25 years
to like fulfill one of my childhood fantasies of seeing Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. in the ring together is fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's a holiday.
Yeah.
For me. Like,
It doesn't matter that these dudes are old as shit, or, you know, they're not in their prime, or they're not fighting for the title. I don't give a fuck. I just want to see two guys that I looked up to like
Yeah.
idols or heroes that, you know, when I was boxing gave me my drive. I'm gonna get to see them not only fight again, but fight each other. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
This would only happen on like fight night.
so I said, it's just to see Mike fight again is worth it. Just to see him fight again is worth it. Like you said, and see them fight together in one ring.
And it's not like they just got old and stopped. So
No, they could like.
You see both of them. They were still working out some type of way.
Yeah, I wouldn't fight either one of them.
Oh hell no, never. Not even never at any point in time.
In their 60s. Yeah, not even in their 60s. I don't think I'll fight them.
Yeah, it's just some people you don't fuck with, and Roy Jones Jr. and Mike Tyson are two of those people.
I can't wait, honestly, man. It's gonna just go spot so slow. I already can see it now. I'm gonna have food too.
Roy Jones's body looks damn near the same as when he was like 30 or 35.
Yeah.
You don't think so?
He's a straight. He has kept up and taking care of his body.
Well, I think Mike improvements. Like I like Mike.
Mike looks great right now, but Mike went from looking like a god to having a big old belly to. Kaylani, are you serious right now?
What's she doing?
Trolling. But no, Mike is back in it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he has fallen in love with fitness again and getting in shape and the grind based on now, mind you, I don't fucking know Mike. I don't kick it with Mike. This is purely off of my judgment from videos, pictures, and his podcast. I feel like he's mentally engaged with fitness and working out again more than just the Roy Jones Jr. fight. I think he has a bigger purpose in mind. And I feel like that purpose will be wiped away if he goes and looks like shit or loses to Roy. Versus Roy's just like, fuck it, man. I'll box. I'll get in the ring with Mike.
Yeah. I mean, Roy did say if he was going to fight again in a heavyweight, like, what was it, years ago, he was like, I would want it to be with Mike Tyson. After that, he went back down, I believe, to like light heavy or something.
He was perfect for light heavyweight.
Yeah, but I remember when he won the championship, he was like, I want to fight Mike. But
this is gonna be fun, man. When is it? September 12th. That's what
I would have to look it up.
Too late.
All right, man. That's exciting. One thing that I want to bring up that really caught my eye is something that you said. I think it was fairly recently in the group text, Wally. You were like, if you put $1,000 into a bond and you invest that for a year, you only make what, like $10 or something, right?
We were talking about. I didn't hear you, Chris.
You talk about right now the low rates in the bond market?
Yeah.
No, I think we were talking about
or maybe
CD.
in general. Yeah, maybe the CD. Was it a CD? Investing in CDs for a year, yeah?
The certificates, yeah.
CD.
So you said you invest $1,000 for a year into a CD, you'll make like $10.
Yep.
Whereas if you have $1,000 in your savings account every month, you'll probably get like 5 cents in interest.
Yeah.
And then if you put that same $1,000 into a $100 stock, you buy 10 of them, and that stock increases $10 in a month.
Mm-hmm.
You just made $100 because you have 10 of them.
Yep.
Now you just made $100 in 1 month in the stock market versus the 5 cents you would have made if it was in your savings, or the $10 if it was in a CD.
Yep.
Just not to mention that you could do that in a day. You could do it in an hour.
And yeah, if you put in enough work. When I got into the group chat and we started talking and I started paying attention to stocks more, my whole perspective on life changed.
Yeah.
Because I was like, what do I got to do to get to $1 million? And I was always like, okay, if I get a job making X amount of money, I would have to save this much, and in 20, 30 years, I'll have it, right?
Yep.
Versus in the stock market, I'm like, shit, by the time I'm like 35, I could see $1 million very easily.
Yep.
By the time I'm 30, 5 years, 10 years, you know, what am I going to be doing in the near future in 5 years? If I'm learning every day in the group chat about stocks, because I look at where I was at in March versus where I'm at now in August, it's ridiculous how much more I know. I still don't know shit, but I know a little bit to get by and make money on my own.
Yeah.
Now, if I do that over the span of 5 or 10 more years, where the fuck am I going to be at? And the beautiful thing about the group chat is that you guys already went through the hard 5 years, the learning, the not knowing shit, the learning everything. And you guys have helped me skip past 5 years of learning by just giving it to me because you already have it.
Oh, hell yeah. That's how you should do it.
Yeah.
I wish for us like that, man. Some people helped us out, but not many.
I mean, but also when we started, a lot of people didn't know. So it came down to, we looked at it, which I still use this analogy, not analogy, but I still use this way of thinking till today. Invest in what you like. Research what you want, you know? So that's why it's like, it started off, we were looking at like, I'll wear Nikes. I watch Disney movies.
Yeah.
Let's see, I want to buy solar panels. So we invested like that as far as the things that we wanted to use, the things we like, stuff like that. Like we wasn't sitting there looking at, oh man, this company is, you know, way bigger than it and it's going to keep growing. We're like, we use it. This is what we actually want. We use it. So that's how it all really started. And then next thing you know, now we're looking at it because there's multiple strategies which we have to learn. So like I love dividends because the way I look at it, dividends is a bank, the same way as a bank. So you're going to give me 10%. Well, what if this rises and you want to increase your dividend? They're not going to do that at the bank, but they know it stop.
They're not going to increase dividends at the bank.
Yeah, they're not going to do that at the bank though. The bank going to be like, we said 1.5%. That's what you're getting.
Yeah, but inflation has gone up now that 1.5 isn't shit.
Nothing.
You know what I'm saying? So, and then what you're saying about the dividends, you look at a dividend like this. Hey, this stock is $100. For the last 5 years, it has dropped between 80 and 120. Okay, I don't think it's going to move that much. So I'm not really worried about losing my money. You can never really lose all your money in the stock market. If you do too much, take it the fuck out.
You can.
Well, I'm saying in certain times, you could get fucked and lose it all. But for the most part, you know what I'm saying? If you're paying attention and keeping up with everything, you're not going to lose all your money. You're going to know when to hold them, know when to fold them because you're paying attention.
Yeah, if you can lose all your money in the market, I need to meet you because you have to put a lot of effort in to do that.
Hey, yeah, let me correct myself too. Never invest money that you can't afford to lose.
Yeah.
So if you're not worried about losing that money, then you're not, you know what I'm saying? You're not going to be sweating it too much. But as long as you pay attention, you're going to, like I said before, know when to jump in, know when to jump out. But say you have a dividend stock that's staying in that happy medium, that 80 to 120 range. For all right, now you got that in there for 5 years, 10 years. And now with dividend reinvesting, you could just take the money that you're making from the dividends and buy more of the stock. And now in 20, 30 years, you have so many of that stock and you have an extra source of income just from the dividends from that stock. You got to stop looking in the short term. You got to pay attention. What's going to be happening in 20 years, in 30 years, in 40 years when I can't work anymore because I want to sit the fuck down because I'm old? Am I going to have another source of income when I'm not actually working?
Yeah. And the way I'm looking at it, fuck 30, 20 years from now, what are we going to do when I'm like 50? Because I don't want to retire at 65 when I'm living now. You going to tell me I got to work all the way until that age? Nah, I'm going to be tired before then. And by the time I'm 65, what am I really doing? Like, we ain't going to be able to fuck the same. You know what I mean? So I'm going to be like, nah, babe, my hip. You know what I mean? So
just get on top.
Yeah, so it's gonna come down to if I can do it and be done at like 40 and have it create by 40, I'm working for fun at that point.
Yep. And that's why we're paying attention to all the growth stocks.
Yeah.
Trying to find out what growth stock is going to have that Tesla like boom.
Yeah.
And it's like, and also trying to get ahead and like knowing that whenever you get to that level, to get into companies when they're private, like when you actually do step it up and stock up your money to a certain point where you can buy into these companies before they go public. That's when you really get that money. That's when like you're not worried
When
about
you're sitting at the table.
Yeah, when you're not worried about am I gonna get it? Am I gonna get a part of this IPO? Like, am I gonna be able to buy this IPO when it comes out? Sitting there looking at your money market account, waiting to click buy when it opens. When it comes over, like you ain't worried about that. You just sit on the other side, like, I wonder how much of my common shares are gonna jump.
Are gonna grow. Yeah, exactly.
And then sell, like, and then buy back in. However, whatever strategy you're gonna use, but that's kind of where I'm trying to get to. I'm trying to get to the point where I could get into these companies before they go IPO.
That's next level, man. Next level shit.
And then, because like it sucks when you sit there, you see like, oh, the stock was worth $2. You only can imagine how much it was worth before the $2, and then it IPOs and it's like 20 now.
Mm-hmm.
It really is.
Like,
and now you just sitting there chopping your lips because you just made one hell of an investment. Yeah, man. Well, you know what, man? I got to go get my baby in the bath. I appreciate y'all hopping on, man. This was fun. My baby even got a little guest appearance on the show. But, yeah, man. Chris, I want to get back on and just talk purely about cooking with you.
That's easy, man.
So let's schedule that, man. Probably I'm pretty busy this weekend, but we'll talk about it. Let me hop off, bro. They don't want to hear me talking about this shit, but I'll sum it up for the next episode of Talk Smack with Mac. Shout out to Vixen and Beard. Shout out to So Right, man. I really appreciate you guys and your company giving me the opportunity to expand my platform, and not only that, but grow with y'all, man. So that sums it up. Peace.